Hey everybody, we are on to a video of the female reproductive models. And we see an internal genitalia model right here. And we got our uterus right there. There's the whole uterus right there. We see the vagina right there. We see the uterine tube, and we got the ovary. In the vagina, we see otorrhea. We do see the cervix of the uterus right here protruding into the vagina, creating a space on both sides here called the fornix. Within the cervix of the uterus, we have the cervical canal. The opening right there is the external os. The opening right there is the internal os. Here's the body of the uterus with the uterine cavity. And up here we have the fundus of the uterus. Layers of the uterus, we got the parametrium, we got the myometrium, and then we got the endometrium as the lining. We can see our uterine tube or fallopian tube right there with its fimbriae, its infundibulum, its ampulla, and its isthmus. We also see the ovarian ligament on the ovary and the broad ligament here as well. And we do see a corpus luteum, that yellow guy, in that ovary right there. And if we switch to this model, we have many more similar structures. Let's actually take it off first and kind of look on the inside. Here is the uterus right there. There's the uterus. There's the vagina right there. We do see the rugae of the vagina. We see the cervix protruding into the vagina with a fornix on both sides. There's our external os, our cervical canal, and our internal os. There's our uterine cavity. I see the two parts of my endometrium here, the stratum functionalis and then the stratum basalis. Then I see my myometrium and the parametrium is that outer layer right there. I do see that ovary down there, not the best view, there it is. And I see the fimbriae right there, the infundibulum, the ampulla, and then I also see the isthmus right there. There's the round ligament of the uterus, and mostly you're seeing my thumb right there, I guess. There's the round ligament of the uterus right there. And I do see the ovarian ligament. There it is. The guy right there. All right, fantastic. As far as regions of the uterus go, I do see my fundus. I got my body. There we go. There's the body. And then there is the cervix. All right, what else do we have here? We do see the urinary bladder with its detrusor muscle and its rugae, its internal urethral sphincter and internal urethral orifice. And there is the urethra with its external urethral orifice just anterior to the external vaginal orifice, both within the vestibule, the space created by the labium minor. There's the clitoris right there, just anterior of the two openings. And there's the labium major and the mons pubis. If we put this thing back on, if I can, there we go, excellent. We still see the labium major right there. Now we see both labia minora. We see the entire clitoris, so from here to here, as well as another erectile structure and a greater vestibular gland right there. There we have the urogenital diaphragm, as well as the rest of the pelvic diaphragm. And we do see the vagina right there, and we see the broad ligament, as well as an ovary and the uterine tube with all of its attendant structures. And the urinary bladder hanging out right there. And we do see a ureter coming down right there, just adding that in for good measure. All right, we've got these two pelvis sections done. Let's look at an ovary model, lovely ovary model right here. Here we have the ovarian ligament. We see part of the broad ligament right here. We see the germinal epithelium of the ovary, right there, those cuboidal cells, as well as the tunica albuginea, the connective tissue underneath it. And we got our cortex of our, there we go, our cortex of our ovary, and our medulla would be in here. I do see lots of follicles here. I see a whole nest of primordial follicles. I see an early and a late primary follicle. I've got a dying follicle right here. Got a Graafian follicle in the act of ovulation. There's that secondary oocyte being released. There is the resulting corpus luteum, and we also see some degenerating corporelutea, and that's known as a corpus albicans. That's pretty much it for that particular model. And now we got this ovary with some other stuff as well. Here's the ovary, the ovarian ligament, the suspensory ligament. Here is our uterine or fallopian tube with its ampulla, its infundibulum, and its fimbriae. Now within here, I do see some primordial and primary follicles. I see a secondary follicle. I see a Graafian follicle, and I see a corpus luteum as well. And that, folks, is pretty much it for the female reproductive system. See ya later.